Hey everyone, and welcome to Heathrow's Terminal 5. After 2 great weeks in Scotland and a few days in Ireland, it's time to head back to the US with British Airways. Terminal 5 houses the majority of British Airways operations at Heathrow and was opened back in 2008. The main terminal building was crowded this afternoon, and I grabbed something to eat before I made my way to the Terminal 5 sea gates. It was pretty quiet in this satellite building, and I passed the time plane spotting while I was waiting for boarding to begin. My flight home today will be aboard this 787-10. I've flown Transatlantic before with BA on their 777, and also on their now retired 747, but this will be my first time traveling on their Dreamliner. The -10 is the largest variant of the Dreamliner, and BA first took delivery of this widebody back in 2020. Although they actually placed some of them in storage because of the drop in travel demand caused by the pandemic. There really aren't that many reviews of BA's 787-10, especially of economy where I'll be sitting, so I was excited to get on board. This plane can carry 256 passengers and has first class, BA's redesigned business class, premium economy, and normal economy. The majority of the 165 economy seats are in a 3-3 layout. But there's 12 seats in a 2-2 configuration at the back of the plane. Seat selection is pretty pricey, and picking one of these 2-2 seats in the back of the plane costs almost $100. But you are able to choose your seat for free during check-in, which opens 24 hours before departure. So the minute check-in opened, I logged onto the British Airways site, and luckily I was able to snag 48B at no cost, which is one of the 2-2 seats. I had a positive first impression after sitting down. There was a nice amount of legroom, plenty of storage space in the seat back pocket, the tray table folds out like this, and there's a universal outlet underneath the seat. The 787 also has large overhead bins, and at first I had no trouble finding space for my bag. But then the lady across the aisle from me started to cram all of her duty-free shopping and other small bags into the bin and took the liberty of rearranging my bag to free up space for her stuff. She was being very rough with my bag, so I just removed it because I didn't want to start an argument, and I was able to semi-fit it underneath the seat in front of me. Fortunately though, there was a huge gap between my seat and the window, and I was able to store my bag there after takeoff. When I arrived at my seat, there was a blanket, pillow, and some headphones waiting for me. British Airways equipped this 787 with overhead lights, but sadly there were no air vents.
On board this British Airways flight to Newark. To help us depart on time, please place all large hand baggage securely into the overhead lockers.
We pushed back from the gate on time, and I was able to enjoy some great views of the airport thanks to the nice and sunny weather.
In charge of today's flight is Captain Randy Farage on one of the teams 11 in the cabin, led by your in-flight manager. Please sit back, relax and enjoy the flight. It's going to be 6 hours and 45 minutes. So you enjoy the flight with us this evening. All this is to say is just to remind you that when seated, you do keep your seatbelt fastened just in case you encounter any unexpected turbulence. Otherwise, welcome aboard, hope you enjoy the flight with us. Thank you.
Once we got up into the air, I reclined my seat and settled in. The seats were comfortable and I really liked the adjustable headrests. The crew got to work serving refreshments once we reached cruising altitude, and I chose some apple juice to go along with the pretzels they gave us. Then dinner was served about an hour later. I decided to go with the pasta they were offering, but I could have also chosen a chicken entree. It came with crackers, cheese, this sort of rice salad, I have no idea what it's called, a bread roll, a bottle of water, and this lemon torte for dessert. There was also a package of wooden cutlery. The last time I flew with BA, I had a chicken curry which I really enjoyed, but this pasta wasn't very good. I thought it tasted dry and just overcooked, but I did like the dessert. They do give you the option to order special meals in advance though, and my wife was able to get a vegan meal. Once dinner was cleared away, the cabin lights and windows were dimmed. The windows weren't locked on this flight though, so you could lighten them if you wanted. The crew came around again and served tea and coffee. I didn't get any though and turned my attention instead to the IFE system. This seatback system worked well, and is much nicer than what you'll find on BA's other 787 variants. There's a USB plug and a headphone jack towards the bottom, and the touchscreen was nice and responsive. It was also adjustable. It looks like BA has a partnership with Paramount Plus, so there were a lot of movies and TV shows from that streaming service. There was a good selection, and I was able to find something to watch pretty easily. But there were some ads before it started. Thankfully, you could fast forward through them though. This Dreamliner is equipped with Wi-Fi, and normally you can purchase a plan, but it wasn't working on today's flight. Once my movie was over, I decided to stretch my legs and check out the lavatory. There's a total of 9 lavatories on board, and the crew kept them nice and clean throughout the entire flight. I got back to my seat as more drinks were being handed out, and about an hour later the crew came around again and gave everyone some shortbread as we were approaching Canada. I was really impressed with the crew on this flight. They did a great job serving all the meals and drinks as quickly as possible and were friendly. Everyone received a pre-landing snack about an hour away from Newark, which was this chicken pastry. I actually enjoyed this more than the pasta I had for dinner.
Touching down around about 15 minutes past 8, which is quite a bit ahead of schedule actually at the moment. We've had quite a good tailwind helping us along. Unfortunately, there's a company aircraft which is on our gate, which we may have to wait for them to push back off until we can actually park up. So just a little bit of a heads up that we may be on the ground waiting for a gate for around about maybe potentially 15 to 20 minutes.
As you heard on the announcement, we arrived early but ended up having to sit around for a while because there wasn't an open gate for us. We were held for about 30 minutes, which wasn't fun, but it wasn't the airline's fault.
Unfortunately, because of the tailwind, that's why we got here so early. Normally there's quite a big headwind going.
BA's 787-10 is a beautiful, state-of-the-art plane that was very comfortable to fly on. And if you'd like to travel on this widebody, they can currently be found flying to Newark, Chicago, Houston, and Toronto in North America, and to Kuwait and Dubai in the Middle East. This was a nice flight overall, and I'd definitely recommend trying to book a flight on this plane if you're traveling with BA. Although I haven't flown on their new A350s, which I'd expect to be very nice as well. Do you have a preference between the 787 and the A350? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.